Here's the Fredericksburg Battlefield Visitor Center, open daily from 9 to 5. All right, I'm here with Andy Douglas. Douglas, could you tell us what we're looking at here?
Well, right behind you is the stone wall, the sunken road, and Marie's Heights. Confederate artillery is here. Confederate infantry is here. The Union have come across the river and are marching towards the wall. Now, if you look at this picture, you can see here's the edge of town, and here's the stone wall. In between is 800 yards of open space. So as the Union Army comes across the open space, they're going to run into constant rifle fire, constant cannon fire. At the end of the day, when the battle is over, there's 1,000 casualties for the Confederacy, 8,000 for the Union, and becomes General Lee's most lopsided victory.
And here is the Interactive Visitor Center. They have history with pictures and even some videos of it. And here's another room of the visitor center. With some more history. And I came downstairs, and here's yet another room full of history. This room is called the Aftermath. The wounded, burying the dead, death everywhere. The Battle of Fredericksburg marked the beginning of an 18-month ordeal that saw the armies clash 3 more times on the landscape around Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville in May 1863, and at the Wilderness in Spotsylvania's courthouse in May of 1864. Okay, right behind the visitor center, you can take a tour. Here's that wall. So let's go take a little tour of the sunken road. And here they have a map of the battles. The Wilderness Battle, the Chancellorsville Battle, Battle of Salem Church, Battle of Fredericksburg. Here's some pictures there. And here is the Fredericksburg battlefield. Before you looms Marie's Heights, a key point in 2 major Civil War battles. At the base of the heights, bordered by a stone wall, lies the sunken road. In December of 1862, Confederate troops standing in the road repelled against Union assaults. 5 months later, during the Chancellorsville campaign, Union troops again attacked Marie's Heights. This time they succeeded in taking it. So I'm actually on the sunken road, and they show you a trail that you can go around. So let's go. Oh, there's a break in the wall. Here's a photograph of the field of battle. Kind of what it looked like back then, and here's a close-up of the wall. Along this path they have a gravestone. Here lived Martha Stevens, friend of Confederate soldier 1881 to 1865. And it looks like a house is still standing. Wow. The foundation outlined before you marks the wartime home of Edward and Martha Stevens. On December 13th, 1862, the house was caught in a vortex of Union attacks against the sunken road. Confederate sharpshooters fired from the house's window and roof. The Union artillery shell that killed General Thomas Cobb passed through the house before exploding. The Innes House. This frame building, known as the Innes House, stands as a mute witness to the terrible combat that engulfed this spot. Located along the Confederate line of battle, the small structure was marred by soldier graffiti and perforated by bullets and shell fragments. Confederate General Lafayette McLaws wrote that the house had no space as large as 2 hands on it that had not been pierced. Wow, there it is. That's probably the original chimney. The killing fields. This view, taken a mile behind you, shows the vast open space in front of Marye's Heights only months after the December 1862 battle. Union troops crossed the plain between the town in the foreground and Marye's Heights. So here's the town, and here's Marye's Heights. Some attackers advanced to within 80 yards of the sunken road up here. And few got as close as 40 yards. More than 7,500 Union troops fell, killed, or wounded in the span of the photograph on the ground just behind you. The photo shows clearly both the stark nature of the battlefield and several prominent landmarks. Most important, the Stratton House. Here, the solitary brick building at the right of the image, which gave cover to hundreds of Union soldiers. The Marye House and the Innes House, both still standing, as well as the Ebert House, are also clearly seen. So this is the house we saw that I just took a photo of. The Innes House. Today, most of the open space in the image is covered by an early 20th century neighborhood.